There we go. This is Freestyle, episode number 1.
We are here.
Are we missing someone?
Ooh.
Crickets.
We got crickets and the zoomies. We
Is
got
that Sarah?
The zoomies. I think she is.
We love you, Sarah. She's not here with us right now. She can't be here tonight, but she will be joining us real soon, and we're going to talk about everything that happened today. Today is Monday, March 31st, 2025, and we had a lot going on today in the 904. We had just opened up Ed's from Angie Subs. He just opened a second location down at Atlantic Beach. We got P-Dubs' dog over here. What's her name?
Nevaeh.
What does that mean backwards?
Heaven.
Yeah. Anyhow, she's a doll. She's a miniature golden.
Cute girl. She is the team mascot for Team 904 Unfiltered.
She's awesome. But anyhow, so getting back on script. So we met today down there at the new Angie Subs, which is the old T-Dubs, which is next to AB Kitchen. And
P-Dubs sounds like P-Dubs.
yeah, it was a crazy place. You ever been there? You know, T-Dubs is pretty cool. I only went there one time, but it's a clothing store, and at night became a bar.
Like a speakeasy kind of.
It was crazy, man. They were Sean Rampage, and he goes, "Come on, we'll go to the back." So I walk back there, you know where the bathrooms are, and you start hearing this band. I go in there, and it's just like wall to wall people. I mean, I've never been in New York, so I don't know what New York bars look like, but it reminded me like of an underground, like something in Soho, where you just had this little band playing and people were raging.
How about the old Milk Bar?
It was a little bit different. I went to Milk Bar back in the day, but this thing was just like kind of really cool, and I didn't really know what to expect. But so it's no longer there. But Ed Malin took it over with his new Angie's.
He held out all the stops. I mean, he made it.
Oh man, something really good happened too. Something with you, Patrick? Right?
Well, there's the thing. So there's iconic pieces of memorabilia from the beaches. The
major iconic stuff. Stuff that was been dropped off that's been around the beaches since I've been here. I've been at the beach since '85. When
79. I mean, I wasn't really crawling around.
Well, I grew up on the west side and moved to the beach in '85.
West side.
West side. 103 Street, baby. Don't get caught over there.
I was on the west side, and then I moved out to the beach.
Ed White Commanders, class of 1983.
Paxton and Jackson.
So we won't talk about that. So anyhow, what were we talking about?
Well, how great it's like a museum. I mean,
oh yeah, all the iconic artwork and the murals and all that stuff that Ed has up there. But
there's a new guy in town.
P-Dubs.
Yeah, and he's got some artwork that's gonna cover the wall over top of the kitchen.
Yeah, you were telling me about that. You were so excited, and Ed was like, "Hey, man, you can have, just kind of like you did down at PVO, where you took that whole wall over."
So Palm Valley's cool, but the beach, that's my stopping point.
Oh yeah.
So that's where I grew up, Atlantic Beach, Neptune Beach.
Well, that's just another part of your play. You already got them at Hurricanes at the beach. You got it at PVO. Now you're gonna have it at Angie's
Brunch House too, South Jacks Beach.
And you got them right here in our studio. We just put up these 2 new ones.
Those are the metal prints.
The metal prints, and so that's an honor, man. How do you feel about that?
I don't believe it yet. It's still kind of
your pictures and your photographs and the way you do them are pretty amazing, man. So
I appreciate that. So,
I think it's gonna.
Things will keep continuing.
So I think what you have is like you have all the older stuff, and then you're gonna have your contemporary stuff with yours, which is gonna pop. So you're gonna kind of reflect all the stuff. If you're standing in Angie's looking to the south, coming through Angie's. What is the backside?
The backside.
Yeah, so if you come through the backside, everything on the right is the iconic stuff, and then yours will be up there to the left, which would be the modern,
And they got it really cool. So one of the bathrooms has all the mug shots, like Jimi Hendrix and like all the crazy.
And then on the front, he's got the flounder. Ed's catching the flounder in the boat.
Yeah. So what's cool is I'm the next generation down from Ed and all those guys that were there today. So eventually, 40 years down the road, my stuff on the wall is going to be what that armadillo represents.
Yeah, there was some really cool stuff. If you got a chance and you come there to eat, just take a time to just look over everything that's in there. Because I know at the Angie's on 3rd Street, it's just like overwhelming. Because not on 3rd Street, but Beach Boulevard, by Penn, everything is just kind of overwhelming. But when you get into this newer place and it's not as big, you can kind of take the time and look at everything. Because everything has a story and everything out there. And the coolest thing that I like more than anything is Butcher Bill from Gangs in New York.
That's cool.
You never seen the movie?
No.
Well, you got to watch it. It's badass.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, Leonardo's in it, and so that mural that he has of Butcher Bill
I got a good picture of that today.
Yeah, that guy right there. If anybody's listening has ever seen The Gangs in New York, you know what I'm talking about. That was a gnarly movie. It's about 2.5 hours, but it's one of those ones you got to stick it out. If you don't like knives and people sticking knives in you, and that's how they fought back then, dude. When it was like the Irish versus the British or whatever. It was in New York, so they called it The Gangs in New York. So they just used swords and shit. There was no guns. They just met in the middle of the road and just killed each other.
Well, that's guns today.
They didn't have all the guns, but I mean, it was just knives and it was just.
Remember, we would fight.
Yeah, we just fought
and like fist fight. And
nobody just pull a gun.
But both people would end up friends when it's over with. You know.
Well, I mean, yeah, nobody knows how to
now
get
somebody
beat.
ends up dead or in the hospital.
Right. Nobody knows how to get beat like you got beat yesterday in that basketball game.
I knew it was coming. Yeah.
You set yourself out. You walked into that one.
Go green. Go green.
Man, I was pulling for you because my Florida Gators. I said it's great to be a Florida Gator. Say it. Okay, I'll stop. Anyhow,
like she was cut off by the producer.
So the Florida Gators are moving on to the Final Four, and I was hoping they were going to play the Michigan State Spartans.
That would have been a fun evening, wouldn't it?
Well, you know, Tom Izzo was 10-0 against the SEC in NCAA tournament time. And you know, they beat Florida in 2000 for the national championship. I told you that, Tom Izzo.
Right. Well,
but they lost yesterday, so now he's 10-1 against the SEC.
Right. So could you imagine being Tom Izzo? You played Florida in 2000 and won the national championship, and then you have a chance to play them again to go to the championship.
How much? He doesn't even look like he's changed. He looks exactly the same coach.
How cool would that have been to win national championship and retire? Check out. Boom, I'm done.
Nope. He's 25 years later, man. This is 25 years. He beat Florida.
30.
He beat Florida in 2000. We had Billy Donovan, the head coach. We had Udonis Haslem.
Remember the Donovan's black hair? That he had that
black but now look at our new coach, man.
Yeah.
He's a
good
guy too, but
I'm proud of my Spartans. Go green.
But you walked into that one about, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I was
you wouldn't even answer the phone, man.
Well,
that's okay.
I was sulking.
I know, but I don't really, I'm not that guy.
I was more disappointed that we weren't.
I wanted to play Michigan because I want to have a big party on Saturday. Michigan State.
Michigan
I know.
lost already, so make sure we did.
Yeah, I know, but I wanted to play y'all on Saturday because I'm in Florida versus my producer, Michigan State. We'd had a lot to talk about. I was
going to smoke a gator on the charcoal.
Well, I mean, now we don't have really a lot to talk about.
Oh, I'm still going to do it. I'm still going to do it.
What are you, an Auburn fan now?
No.
Hey, I hate Auburn.
They played well.
So get this. So Florida beat Auburn out on the road. I think it was in February, and Auburn was ranked #1, and Florida went in there with a couple guys hurt, and we blew them out, I think, by 20 points on the road. So what does that mean? Auburn has all the fuel to be, we're going to beat these guys because it's always harder to beat somebody twice.
Right.
You know, I mean, the team that lost, the team that we beat at Auburn, which embarrassed them, is going to be looking at that film, and they're going to be mad.
Yeah.
So now we have to beat them again on a neutral site.
So I was looking at the same potential scenario. So we beat Michigan in the tournament, and then if Michigan would have won this last weekend, we would have had to play them again to go on. So they got beat by Auburn, of course.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So
it would have been Michigan State. If Auburn, that's right. Auburn did, yeah.
You beat them, and then you're.
Yeah, you always hate.
Well,
you want to have a prime example of that, which they already got eliminated, was Rocky Top. So Tennessee had been beaten twice by Kentucky, and then Tennessee played Kentucky in the Sweet 16, and they beat the hell out of Kentucky. Guess what? They were going to lose to a third time to them. So Kentucky lost this time, but it means more because you advance. So they beat Tennessee twice in this year in the conference. So I don't ever like playing a team twice, man. I mean, it's just part of it. But I think Auburn's got a lot to prove, but Florida's got to play better. I mean, we were down by 10 with 4 minutes ago. I was losing my mind until Romeo Roberts. Anyhow, he's my buddy, and he came over against the UConn game, and we were down by like 6. And he showed up at 4 minutes ago, and then he showed up the other night with about 4 minutes ago. And he came in, and I was like ready to just anoint the game, like give it to Texas Tech, who played a hell of a game. And he came in, man, and Florida just started doing what they should have done. And I think Michigan State should have been fouling more, man. You got enough guys that throw the foul that just foul. They let that clock run down.
I think they got in foul trouble. Is what I was.
Well, I mean,
think.
you're not in foul. You can put guys in there just to run up and foul somebody when they get the ball.
I ended up having to listen to the game because I was the place.
It really. I mean, Michigan State never was a factor, man. I mean, I have to tell you, man. Auburn just beat them from the beginning. I mean, it was like.
Well, they had that 9 to 11 point lead, just like Florida was down.
Yeah.
And then Florida came back 9 unanswered points, and then they just got that momentum.
Yeah.
Michigan
State was right there, and
they
I mean,
hit threes, they couldn't hit free throws, they couldn't.
Yeah, their threes are off, but I mean, now it comes down to Duke plays Houston, which Houston beat Tennessee, and they just annihilated Tennessee.
Yeah.
Way to go, Tennessee.
I mean,
Rocky
like,
Top.
almost
You embarrassed.
embarrassing.
Yeah, it was embarrassing, man. I mean, you're the SEC. I'm so tired of hearing about that Ziegler, that little guard. I don't care about that guy. I mean, we got Walter Clayton. He's All-American.
Yeah.
Ziegler got. He went to the poll and he got rejected, man. That guy from Houston, he went throw that little shit up there and went. Whoosh, whoosh.
How'd it go? That's great.
And then when Alabama was playing Duke, and Alabama had 25 threes against BYU, 25 3-pointers
In one game.
Wow. And then they were all pumped their chest. But I'm telling you right now, Duke is if I had to put $1,000 on Florida and Duke, I would take Duke. Duke's a better team.
Duke's
a good team, man. They got a 7'2" foot guy.
7'2"?
Yeah,
Easy for
7'2".
you to say.
7'2", and he reminds me of Mutombo.
Yeah.
And he go like this. No. And they got a guy, and that guy Ziegler went to the hole, or he just like, whoosh, get it out of here. So there's a lot going on with college basketball. We just finished the Spots for the Cure tournament where Patrick was the photographer.
That was a cool turnout.
Yep, I went out there for the captain's meeting. It was a great turnout. I had to work this past weekend at my other job, so I didn't get to go out there and be a part of it. But
you can see all the photos and everything
see all the photos that Patrick took. Great photos. He did a good job. And so, like I said, we're in the batter's box. We're up. We're on deck. We're coming up. Triple challenge, man. May 3rd.
Quick little plug.
Yeah.
At DeVita Photography on Instagram. You can check
go by and like his page. He's a great photographer.
Like you also please follow and like our pages for the podcast.
Yep. Soon we will start having our podcast being aired on YouTube, showing after Patrick cuts and edits and all that. But in the meantime, we're going to host it either. I think Spotify is going to be the easiest thing to host it.
Yeah, we'll have a link tree.
Yeah, so you'll be able to go in there and just link through it and watch it and listen. And
so the format we're going to do the podcast. We're not sure how often we're going to release yet, and that's going to be full video, audio, and then we're going to do these little freestyles.
Yeah, I love these little These are the best, man. I mean, you can talk more about what's happening in the 904. I mean, what else is going on? When's Spring in the Blues? Isn't that this weekend?
It's coming up. People keep saying I should get one of those booths. Or whatever. But
I've done that. I've done that stuff before, dude.
I'm not above that or beyond.
You're not above it, but listen to me. You're talking about when Flounder Pounder, when I was growing it and running out these things. You got to get there at the crack of dawn before anybody gets there. You got to set all your stuff up.
You got to pay to be there.
You got to pay. It's usually when I was paying, it was $300 for a 10x10 with electric. So it's $300. So you automatically you're at a negative 300 before you sell nothing.
And then I have to print everything myself to have an inventory.
It just gets to be a long day. I can tell you some good stories when I had Flounder Pounder clothing out there. Can I tell you a great story?
Yeah, go ahead.
So Spring in the Blues, it's still cold at the beach, regardless of what people think. If you go running the beach right now and when it comes on out of the east, you're gonna freeze.
Just like the golf course over there.
Well, but I'm saying all these girls are all coming to the beach, right? They come to the festivals and they're wearing like nothing because it's hot in town. Okay, if it's 78 degrees in town and you come out of the beach and the wind starts blowing on shore, it's gonna be 65 quick.
Yeah.
Because the water's still in the 60s. So one time I was out there selling Flounder Pounder clothing and it was like all strategy. So it started being like 4:00 in the afternoon, and the wind switched out of the east, and so it went from being a warm wind to a cold wind. So what I did, I brought out the hoodies. I had all these hoodies in reserve. So I had this one cat come in to me. He had 3 really nice looking ladies with him. And they were all like this, dude. They had nothing on, like little short shorts, and they're like this. He's like, "Hey, how many of those hoodies you got?" I said, "Man, I got as much as you want, buddy." So I sold him 3. I gave him 1 because he bought 3. I said, "Hey, you just take this one for free."
Buy 3, get 1.
But festivals are like this, man. You got to be out there. You can't leave, and you can't just pack your stuff up. They don't want you to break down until the end.
Right.
So when you're breaking down, so is everybody else. So then you got to get all your shit to the car. I mean, God bless people that do it. It ain't my cup of tea.
And I don't know if you've
I ain't doing
ever
it.
put a canvas up on a table, but when the wind comes, it acts as a giant sail, and the keep
Yeah.
standing up. Like when we did Kim's fundraiser up at Singleton's, I put my stuff up there, and the wind was crazy, blowing stuff off and tearing stuff up.
Yeah, I mean, I was selling clothes, and I learned the hard way one time. I did a festival, and I had my boys go out there, and I drug out all these boxes of stuff, Patrick, and none of it was even tagged. Remember I told you everything we do for the clothing for the tournaments are
Right.
tagged and bagged?
Yeah.
Because there ain't nothing worse than somebody asks you if you're a medium. You're like, I know I got one, and
Yeah,
you're going
that's
through
not
nothing.
professional.
Oh, but it's not really professional. We didn't really know. We were all hung over from the night before. So I had my friend Stacy come out to help me sell clothing, and she's freaking awesome. And she goes, we're all just sitting back hung over, like, she goes, nothing is organized here, man. I mean, I sold almost $6,000 worth of clothing that day. And I looked at my boy Lenny, who's not here anymore with us, rest in peace. I said, Lenny, we'll never do another festival without having stuff bagged and tagged and organized.
I mean, when you
But I
start
mean,
getting-
even just like coming home and folding everything and putting a label on it, so you
a
have
lot of work.
It is a lot of work, but it makes it so much easier. But then once again, I was like, I don't like festivals, man. I mean, I'd rather just pay someone to go set up and sell my stuff than me to have to be a part of it. I mean, because it's just a lot of work. The return is not it's good, but by the time you get done, it's sun up to sundown. I've had some great memories doing it, but I ain't never doing it again.
Well, yeah. So I'm in the situation where the return is not amazing at the restaurants and things, but it's now I'm at the exposure level.
Well, but something like that would be good for you because you're not going to have tons of boxes. Like I was dragging out all these different clothing and all that. You could probably get away with doing everything at a 10 by 10 with your truck alone. Yeah. But I was carrying out there a bunch of clothing, and I mean, it's just like you said, you got to be there. If you get there too late, you won't get a good parking spot. Then you got to walk for miles to drag all your stuff to where you got to be because you can't park right there. And then you got to deal with everybody coming. But for you, Patrick, you should start doing those 904 pop-ups that they do.
Yeah.
The 904 pop-ups are good.
Well, if things keep happening, we'll wait until they do.
Well, I mean, you're getting a lot of good exposure right now, which I love.
If things happen, we'll wait till they happen to get mention them.
But I mean, I'm just telling you, my experience as being a.
Yeah, I mean, it's just surreal the way things are happening, and it's hard to keep track of. So organization first and foremost,
right? Yeah,
like,
and I mean, I'm not saying you couldn't do well at them because there was like traveling gypsies that do all these shows and everything. They follow every one of these places. They knew exactly. Their setup was amazing, man. Like they had all their hats. I mean, I'm just like a blue collar flounder pounder guy out there when I was banging out my clothing. And I was but to me, it's just a lot of, and I wasn't into it.
I think Chip Davis would go batshit crazy if he had to take every file from a camera and organize it into folders.
Oh yeah,
this and that. It's
my ADHD wouldn't get it done.
Well, people don't understand. They think you just push the button on the camera.
Oh, I've seen it, but did I tell you I was creeping on the other night when you came up to PVO?
and then again,
and I called you and I watched you answer their phone because I saw you walk up and then you walked over to Emily like, "What's up? Hey." And those who don't know, Patrick is a really cool looking cat when he wears he's got his camera hanging off his side.
It.
He's like Armani, man. He's like, "Hey, I'm Gucci. I'm Armani.
I can't afford Gucci."
Well, I know. But anyhow, he came up to the PVO to the Spots for the Cure captain's meeting. I was inside and I saw him. And he came walking out there with all his stuff, looking cool. But yeah, photography is not all just about clicking a button, especially in the digital days. In the digital way, you got to download it. You remember, didn't you almost lose those ones all those pictures that you shot?
Yeah, that was crazy.
Then you have to download them individually onto your.
I got home and everything's on the camera. I get home, put them in the computer.
But those who don't know, real quick, I'll give you a backstory about Patrick. He's very, very OCD, which I mean, he's like, this guy he doesn't just whip it on the wing of it. He's going to be, all his cards are going to be right, his digital cards, his MP3, whatever he's got, but he couldn't find these pictures to the tournament.
Well, I knew they were. They just wouldn't come up. It was an empty folder. So could you imagine doing a wedding for somebody and then getting home and then they paid you all this money and you can't recreate that life event. So, I mean, you're screwed. And then.
Well, what about the picture you took of Jordy and my boys out there? Your epic vibes with Alan.
That was cool. That's a good group of guys.
Dude, that's my boys out there. That's the mafia right there.
They got it together.
Yeah. Well, Alan, that's Fabio.
Yes. Fabio Jesus.
And then I met Jordy's brother. I think it's Peter.
Me and him had a great conversation.
Yeah, and I took and
He's
gave him a hat inside. I gave him one of my Flounder Pounder hats.
Yeah, he's a really cool, laid back dude.
He's a great guy. And I said, Jordy, you never introduced. Yeah, that's my brother. And then Jordy is the man. Jordy's the godfather.
And when I was talking to his brother, I was looking. I was like, he looks familiar. And I was like, he looks like Jordy. And then he's like, I'm Jordy's brother.
Yeah.
So,
And that's the first time. You know what's so funny? That's the first time I met him. And we just did the Flounder Pounder back in October 2024. But I never met. No, Peter was never there.
Local, though, right?
Yeah. But I'm saying he was never out there when we were doing the Flounder Pounder. And so he just happened to be out there helping his brother Jordy, and Alan set up all the chairs and everything for the captain's meeting. So that's the first time I met him.
Right.
So when he heard me walk up to Alan and go, "Hey, Fabio," he goes, "I never heard that before. I like that."
Fabio Jesus.
But
no, Jordy and those guys. I mean, that's their second to none. I mean, when you got and where do they rent their things out at the beach?
Oh, well, whatever, that hotel that's right there to the south of the Jacks Beach Pier. What is it, that new one?
Yeah, if you guys need chairs, what is it?
Well, they got that whole area like licensed off. So if you go to that hotel and you need,
everything, surfboards,
umbrellas,
bodyboards, chairs.
And then if you need a party, if you want to have your wedding,
that's
like,
your guy to
go
call.
off. And I mean, these guys got they got the 360 camera,
like circus tents, like giant.
And you know what made me happy tonight? You heard the conversation we had when I talked to him.
Yeah.
So Kenny also works with him. You haven't met Kenny yet. Kenny is like the DJ, and Kenny was out there for when we did the Palm Valley one, when I did the registration party. Remember when you came out there a little late?
Yes.
And we were registering people. It's cold. And I told Kenny, I was like, "You're not going to be able to do my MCing with this old style microphone with the light." This is 2025,
Two
bro.
Turntables and a microphone.
And he says, "I know, Joe." I said, "If you don't have me a wireless mic where I can walk around this whole place and just talk and all that," and he goes, "You know what he was telling Jordy? Jordy, we got to go now, man. I got to get this wireless mic for Chip, or he's not going to use us." But Kenny is going to be my DJ for the Triple Challenge. And I just was told tonight that they're going to have 2 wireless mics, one for Sarah, one for me.
So you guys can both talk same time.
Absolutely. But she's going to be emceeing the event, which is a weigh-in, which she deserves it. But when it comes to the awards, I'm the front man on that one.
And then you've got a bouncer / photographer.
P-dubs.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're 3 peas in a pod. So tournament day, it's going to be Sarah's party. And she's going to be the MC, but she deserves everything she's doing to help, which you are too.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm going to be nice to watch back, because I don't like the weigh-in is my least favorite part of the tournament. I like the captain's meeting, and I like the awards. But the weigh-in is work, but we're going to knock this thing out. But also, I need to go back there and help Brian Duflick. Duflick. You know Duflick. Shimano. Anyhow, I want to help him with the weigh-in part, but this is a triple challenge, so it's going to be nice to have her rocking the mic.
How did you meet Brian?
I met Brian. You want to hear the story? You ever remember Southside? You remember Sports Unlimited on Southside Boulevard?
Funny story. I got one after yours. Go ahead.
Well, Brian was working. I met him in night.
Sports Authority?
No, it's Sports Unlimited. It was where that down road on Southside Boulevard, you had to drop down off the service road, and it was that big sports place there. It was even before it was Sports Authority. So it's called Sports Unlimited. But Brian was working there in the back in the fishing department, and I was going there buying these special plugs that I was using to catch big trout. And I said, "You want to go with me one day?" It's like 1993. He said, "Yeah, I'll go with you." And then I took him fishing. He was living in Hidden Hills with his parents. And I met him at the pub.
It's been a minute.
It's been since 94.
Okay,
yeah. So I picked him up. I had my little boat. I had a little stump knocker, and I met him at the Hidden Hills Publix, which is right up the street from here, from where I'm living, right over Wonderwood. You know, the Publix right there. But but Hidden Hills Golf Course. We met in the parking lot. We met in the parking lot, and me and him went fishing, and we've been best friends ever since. We were roommates.
He's a good guy too. He's a really good guy.
So Brian Dufek is, we don't know, he's also the Shimano Northeast, the Southeast United States or whatever district Shimano rep, and he's also used to work at Strike Zone Fishing. Dave Workman, one of our big sponsors.
He knows his stuff.
He knows his stuff, and he's my weighmaster, and he's coming back this year, and I'm going to help him this year because we're weighing 3 fish in for the triple. So you're going to have a redfish, trout, and a flounder. And I'm just going to let Sarah. I just want Sarah to take over and be the MC of the event. It's
Maybe,
going to be nice.
You know what would be a good idea? How about we get the winner of the triple challenge on?
Oh, absolutely.
In studio.
That's a no-brainer.
You think they'll give up the honey holes in their?
No, because I want to ask. because that's the worst thing you can do.
That's bad. That's
Because
like
why?
magician,
You just tell them what did you use and what were your tactics, but you never ask them where they caught it. That's like that's like the worst thing to ask a fisherman
or hunter.
Because ask me where I caught them. Ask me.
Where did you catch them?
In the mouth.
Yeah, when I hunted, we didn't like to give out.
Well, I mean, it's just common practice and courtesy that you don't go, where'd you get them? Because if they tell you, they're stupid.
Well, that offshore, they don't give out numbers.
Well, numbers, yeah, but offshore is a lot bigger than the river, so it's not as sacred. It's not as sacred, It's like, oh, I got them on longitude this, and I just tell them I got them in the tuna patch or I got them somewhere else.
These guys are so old school. They don't have they don't have like latitude, longitude. They just know where to go.
Right. But when it comes to fishing in the river and the creeks and all that, if you let somebody know your favorite spot, then you're gonna give up your spot. They're gonna bang your holes when you're not around.
So if somebody's on their deathbed, they got the time by.
I'd probably unleash some of it. All my spots are community holes now.
Are they?
Well, everybody knows about it. There's no more secrets. I mean, you can't hide everything.
Well, I mean, people are going to see you out there eventually, or they're just there's Chip Davis. Let's follow his little boat.
But they don't do that. I'm just saying if you give up your spots and all that. I mean, like you said, there's no secrets anymore. I mean, the number one fisherman in Jacksonville to me is Eddie Kabler, hands down.
I do not know who that is.
Well, I mean, I've had the pleasure and opportunity to fish with him. That's him right there.
Oh, okay, that one. Yeah,
he just got second in the Wednesday nighter.
Okay.
Yeah. But he knows he don't rely on nobody's intel. He creates the intel. People follow him because he's that good.
Leaders and followers. Yeah.
Well, I'm not. It's not followers like social media. I'm just telling you, dude. That guy's got a knack for fishing, and he's got a nose for the fish.
Yeah.
And I've been doing it for years, and he tells me that I'm the best guy he's ever fished with artificial wise. And I just think, compared to him, I'm just average. But that guy is on a whole different level. So we bring in the winners for the Triple Challenge. We were going to talk about the techniques and what you did to catch them, but you never ask anybody where they caught them.
Right.
But if they tell you, they're stupid.
It's ethics, I guess.
Or they just tell you they caught them in a community hole.
Yeah.
Or
just jumped in the boat.
Well, I mean, whoever's going to win my Triple Challenge, and there's luck, I get it and all that, but in a triple you got to have all three. So if you're gonna go in and get lucky and catch all three, which it can happen, which I took second place one time in a triple challenge.
Nice.
And I got beat by a guy that was using a float rig, which is, I'm an artificial guy, which I don't down the live bait, but he was using a float rig with a live shrimp, and he caught all three species on a float rig, and I caught all three of mine on artificial.
So what made you go, why do you like artificial?
Just a challenge. I don't like live bait.
Kind of like how I switched from rifle hunting.
Yeah, and just same with you do with your golfing. I mean, if I'm going out there using live bait and I'm just throwing it out there and just waiting for it to hit, I like a reaction. I like to make it happen. I mean, I'm whining, chunking.
It keeps you busier. I mean, I don't like sitting there just waiting.
Well, that's what they call that country clubbing. You just throw out the baits and wait. But when you fish the way that me and Eddie like to fish, and a lot of these guys in Jacksonville like to fish, they like to run and gun, and they like to whine and chunk. So when I mean whining and chunking, you're on the trolling motor, you're going, you're moving from spot to spot. If they're not here, you pull the trolling motor up, we'll haul ass down the street. We'll go there, they're not there. But we don't ever just anchor. I never anchor and sit. If you're sitting, you're losing.
You know, it's crazy. I've never seen you cast a reel.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't fish as much as I used to. I'm kind of going in retirement. I mean, I've done it. I miss it and all that.
It's still a fun thing, right?
Oh no, trust me, dude. I mean, it's like one of those things. I get the excitement and all that, but I mean, as far as like giving up the title and just moving on, I've already done it and been there.
So you've done tournaments and all this.
Yeah, I won the first Redfish Tour Championship in 2000. I told you 25 years ago I won the boat my brother-in-law has now.
Oh, that's right.
And there was 15 people there, dude. That's why I was like, when you win my tournament, you're going to make sure you remember it. Yeah. And I was there, and I was like, where the hell's everybody at? They're like this. Hit the claps. Hit the claps. I was like this. Hey, I won. Well, damn, man, there ain't nobody here. But if you win my tournament, Patrick, you can ask Eddie. I showed you that video of him walking up on the stage.
Yeah.
He looked at that 1,000 times.
Very excited.
After he won it, because it's the juice. They call it the juice. It's like this.
It's in the woods we call it buck fever.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same adrenaline rush you get when you drop a big deer as when I drop a big fish. But if you do it on artificial, it's even a bigger rush.
See, I don't know. I wonder if that's ever been compared. I mean, I literally was
Yeah, I'm not
shivering.
gonna. I've never killed anything because I don't hunt. But I'm telling you, I've caught a big trout before, dude, and I'm like this. And I've lost a big fish before, and I was shaking so bad, I was like, I can't believe I just lost that fish.
Yeah, so it's the same thing.
Yeah, you get the same adrenaline. But if you get a big fish and you get it in the boat, you will lose your shit like King Kong.
Yeah.
Because you're the man. I am the man.
I am the man.
And so it's no different than you drop a 10-point or 8-point buck, whatever it is. I don't know how you score them and all that. But there's no difference in the feeling as when you drop a big buck as you drop a big trout or a redfish or a flounder, and especially if you do it on artificial. But the big thing around here, that's the big thing, that's mucho grande, is getting inshore is a big gator trout.
It's grandes huevos.
Grandes huevos, que pasa,
Yeah.
cerveza,
Sí.
no, español.
Bean burrito, Mexican milk.
But listen, so a big speckled trout, I'm talking
never
about not
caught.
these little typical little ones you see. When you see a big gator trout that's 30 inches long, weighs 9 pounds, and you see a 9-pound redfish, you're like, I don't care about that redfish. Look at that trout. So that's what I'm hoping is going to come up in the Triple Challenge, is that you have to have the big trout, so it's going to separate you from winning 10 grand. Not your redfish and not your flounder, because a redfish is slot.
Will a trout wear your ass out like a snake?
No,
or something
I'm
like that?
not. No. It'll wear you out mentally because you've been trying so hard. They're not stupid fish. That's why you
Are
don't
you on
get.
smaller tackle?
Well, I like, 14, 15-pound tests. I mean, I'm not
you
like
can feel
undergun. Yeah. Or we could be like when Eddie Calvert cost me, $5 grand in this tournament called the Triple Challenge. I mean, they call it the Creek Wars, is because he was before he started getting to where he is now, and he's always been a great fisherman. He used to do it for the sport. We were fishing the same Triple Challenge format, and he hooked a nice flounder. It was about 5 pounds, which would win us the whole
That's a
tournament.
big boy.
And he broke it off at the boat. You know why? He's fishing 4-pound test braid. I go, what is this shit, Eddie? He goes, because he was all about the sport.
He didn't want to respool.
Well, he was all about the sport.
I've done it. I mean,
No, he was all about the lighter the tackle, the bigger the sport.
Right.
But tournament now, and if he's listening, which I know he will,
Yeah.
because he'll love to hear this. He'll sit there and shake his head and go, "You're right, Chip." But we ended up getting 3rd place in that tournament, Patrick. And guess what? Eddie didn't want to weigh in because we had a little 25 kicker on the back, and we were way downtown by Arlington.
Right.
And I said, Eddie, if we're having a hard time catching them, then everybody else is too. So we would have won the whole shebang if we'd have caught that big flounder first thing in the morning, but it broke off under the boat. So we ended up with 3rd place and won $750.
Yeah, I mean, but that shoulda, coulda, woulda. I think is the fishing story of.
Well, they should have, could have, would have. When you had the freaking fish hooked up and he broke off because he was using 4-pound tests. That's Eddie, come on, man. But he doesn't do that no more. And now he won my flounder pounder after almost 12 years of trying to chase that thing right there.
Yeah, that's crazy. But so real quick on the fishing front, because we said we weren't going to talk completely about fishing, but so we've got Sarah's 904 coming up, right?
October 4th.
And that's 904 redfish, and that's going to benefit the American Heart Association.
Well, she don't know yet. She might have her own
she might
foundation by
switch it
then.
by then. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Well, I mean, she did 36,000 to the American Heart Association, but I've been
That's a
telling.
big first tournament.
It's amazing. Yeah, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to beat that with this one. I mean, 36,000. I'm sitting close right now. If I added all the money I know it's coming, I'm a little bit about 31,000 raised.
Well, if you guys know anybody out there, they still need sponsors, so y'all sign up. And,
Yeah, you can
and
sponsor
jump in.
the Triple Challenge. You can get for $500. You get on the shirt, the banner, and you get a free entry, which is valued at $250. And all the money goes to the 2 Tip Mice Foundation, which benefits ladies or men that are going through breast cancer treatment.
And
you
it
know
goes
what's
right
so
now.
cool?
It's
You know what's so
going right now.
cool? Remember we saw Kim last Monday night?
Yeah, that's great.
She's one of the ones that Ed took into his foundation, and I raised her $7,000 back in November of 2024, and she went through.
That's the first day I met you.
Yeah, that's the first day. Yeah, everybody's been trying to get us hooked up. And, I was like, "Who are you?" And you know what? Your 2 pictures that you donated were like the ones that people bid
fought
on.
over 'em.
They were
That's
fighting
the
over.
first time I've ever gotten a cash value. Or I didn't get it, but I mean, seen it.
Well,
for cash
yeah,
value.
and so those that don't know, we did a fundraiser for Kim. What was Kim's last name? God, I can't remember.
I can't remember.
God,
her
I'm
name,
so
so-
bad in my mind.
I'll
Anyhow,
wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning,
she was
I'll
a
figure it
waitress that she used back working at Singleton, But she was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I was out there one night, and she is right after the Flounder Pounder, and she says, "Oh, Chip, that was so great that you raised all that money." And I said, "Oh, okay." She says, "Well, I'm going to do a fundraiser too." I said, "For what?" She says, "Well, I just got newly diagnosed breast cancer." I was like, "Oh." I said, "Well, I'm going to call Ed Malin and see if he can get you into his."
Ed is good people.
Yeah, I said, "I'm going to call Ed and see if he can get you into the Two Tip Miles Foundation that will help take care of some of your bills. And in the meantime, I'm going to do a quick fundraiser." So I think in 3 weeks, I raised her $7,000.
I think it was like 7,200 or something like that.
It's close to it, yeah. And then we gave her all that, and then she went into treatment, and then of course, we lost a little touch. Life is life.
And then we ran into her. She gave me a big old hug. And she's just so happy.
I started crying, dude, when I saw her.
Poor thing was talking about her wig was blowing off and stuff.
Yeah, I said, "Your wig."
But she was smiling about it, and she was she's okay.
And you know what? And I told her when she was worried when she'd walk outside. I said, "You know what? If that wig flies off, who cares? Because what you've done, in the things that you persevered through, and the treatment." She got admitted when they first started this chemo. It's called the Red Devil, and she could tell you about it. So what it does, it's like very, very toxic in your body, but it will do what it needs to do. But in the meantime, it's going to affect your heart.
You're miserable, yeah.
Yeah, and so she started having some AFib, so she had to go to the ER and get admitted with AFib. And then Ed and I went and saw her in the hospital. She was admitted to Beaches Baptist, and then we ended up she got discharged, and then they readjusted her dosage. So big shout out to Kim, and it was so good to see you.
It was really cool because I gave her the very first canvas I ever had printed to give her to put.
Oh, just gave it to her.
Yeah, I gave it to her.
Nice.
And she said she looks at that thing every day, and that makes me feel good because it gets.
You know what else? What's so cool too? What I gave her is that she ended up, the check that we write out, how much the amount that we raised,
right? And
we ended up. Let's see if we can find those pictures, man. So we ended up giving her the check that my buddy Jason made for us, because she wanted it, and because I write in, and people that know have seen me writing in the amount raised. And this year I raised $203,000 for the Jacksonville School for Autism for the Flounder Pounder.
Heck yeah!
So I'm at 1.4 million raised. That has a really cool ring to it when you say it, and like I said, it's not something that I walked into saying I'm going to raise this much, because it didn't happen that quick.
Well, true good people don't do that. So people just raise the money and just move on with their lives.
And
you do, and if you're out there saying, "Oh, I raised this, and this, and that's what you live on," that's your shtick, then that.
It's definitely it's a motivational thing for me, which I love. Hang on, I'm trying to find it.
It's a challenge. It's a game with yourself.
It's a challenge, and it's such a good challenge that that I'm looking forward to the next one. Let me see. I'm trying to find this, because it wasn't long after I did the Flounder Pounder. I went right into this fundraiser for Kim, and there it is. Right, where is it at? Because that's when I'm at P-Dubs.
Wasn't that crazy? Because I'd never shot on location. This is my first live shoot, so I was.
Oh, here it is.
Jumping in front of people.
There's your pictures right there, Patrick.
Crawling around.
That's when you showed up and you took those pictures.
Look how far my pictures have come. Those are still good, though.
Yeah, they're great. Yeah, but you can see that where you're coming with them. And this is... Look, there you are.
Somebody took, I want that. Who took that?
I'll send it to you. I don't know. Someone took it. That's
picture
awesome.
of me taking a picture.
And there's...
That's killer.
Yeah, look.
Fancy.
I forget who took those.
It looks like...
And there's Kim. And then...
Let's send me those.
And so this wasn't even the day that we did it. Watch this. I'll send you those. It was in November is when we did the actual fundraiser, and it was right. Let me sure. Where is it at? Oh gosh.
Maybe you should have put this on deck.
Oh, here it is. Well, there was one of them. Oh, there's that piece right there. Everybody wanted. Remember?
I wanted that too. And who made that?
That was my guy.
That was the sheep's head, right?
That was the sheep's head. Oh, here it is. Here's the check that she kept. So
yeah, that's cool.
And that was the one that my buddy made. And then here is the amount.
Well, the amount on it was what?
$6,300.
Okay.
And then that's the check. That's a good shot.
Yeah.
Kim Gray.
And Tyler, Kim Gray. Tyler was there too.
Yep.
Yeah,
Tyler showed up with Grandma, and we had a really good time. And that's just one of the things we've been doing with the 904.
Cancer. I hate cancer. We'll get into that later.
And there's when I was shaking everything up.
Yeah, I took those shots.
Oh, yeah.
It's like I knew what I was doing.
There's Piper. She was here. Look, there's Fabio.
Fabio Jesus.
And there's Rob Kovacs, my neighbor. He donated that.
I need to get with him.
He lives right down the street.
Yeah, I took
There's
pictures of
Piper
stuff.
with your picture.
I wish I knew what they went for.
Dude, everybody wanted him, man. And then
That's crazy. So, guys, you'll be able to see these things when we're not doing our.
Oh, that's a good picture you took of us.
But yeah, so well, that's cool.
Yeah, that's good stuff, man. I mean, so Kim Gray was a beneficiary of our hard work, which is awesome.
And she was, her cause was my first working.
So that was
working with
that
you.
was that triple challenge that me and Eddie should have won that year. The Creek Wars. You know who did that art piece right there?
No.
Freaking Guy Harvey. See the triple challenge, but they didn't survive, dude. They only went.
Oh, I heard he did that. Yeah.
Yeah, they only went like 4 years because people don't understand longevity in a fishing tournament. It ain't easy.
Yeah.
To keep it going, you know.
Right on. Well, our freestyle has been very good. I think
It's really good. We got to cut this up. We'll edit it up. We'll get it up out on the airways, and yeah, it was fun.
We do want to hear what everybody thinks about the audio and those things.
Well, I think you nailed the audio. It's pretty damn good.
Yeah, I hope it's worthwhile and people like it.
But we will have another freestyle coming up, and we promise once we get Sarah in here, and we'll get her on the air with us, and then we'll get Patrick. We'll start filming some of the episodes, but we just thought we needed to get some stuff out there. So tune in, stay tuned, and we'll talk to you soon. Check. We're out.
Well, it's your podcast 904 Unfiltered. It's your boys Chip and Patrick, and it's the loveliness Sarah bringing it to you real and unfiltered in the 904. Well, you know we love you. Well, you